Yo. Welcome in. Good morning. 10:02, Tuesday, July 9th. What's up, everybody in the Grounds crew? Hope everybody's good. Ayo, are you making coffee? Yes, I was. Don't forget. Oh, it's July. It must be June. Sorry. My bad. It's June. Viva Las Vegas. I already see a bunch of things in here. That's where we're going to start today for sure. Once we do all the standings and the updates, we'll go look at that game in Vegas last night, which was something to behold. Lots of runs. No shocker there. See a bunch of people commenting. We got Victoria in here, Carlos. I also see some stuff about Yandy. That's not a bad idea. I don't think I had them in my list, but no problem. I actually have some hitters, so they should go a little faster than the longer pitching games. I have a couple of relievers to look at for sure today. So let's hit it. Sucks for my Knicks last night. They did not play their best game. I did not think that they got the job done, obviously. So now it's going to come. Now we got a little bit more of a series, and I am a little worried. I predicted a blowout yesterday for the Knicks winning, but that was mainly because I thought the Spurs would lay down if the Knicks had a hot run early, and that did not happen. So now you see how good the Spurs are. On the basketball side of things, they're pretty good, and it's going to be tough. So we'll see. All right. Here's where we are at currently. Tampa Bay and the Yankees are tied at the top of the AL East. They both won last night. Toronto lost. Baltimore also lost. They've lost now 3 in a row. And Boston lost as well. So no real meaningful change in the AL East. AL Central, Cleveland. Game and a half up on the White Sox. They lost, as well as the Twins. Tigers and Royals both won, but they're still in the basement. AL West. Mariners 2 games up on the Rangers. Both of those teams won. They're both 7-3 in their last 10. The A's lost a crazy game in Vegas, which we're about to check out in a minute. Some of the moments from that game. And Angels are in last there. National League, Braves win again, 45-21. That's a very impressive record. 24 games over 500 before July. Sorry, I know it's not July yet. Mets did not play, so every team that has played in this division has won their most recent game. But the Mets did not play. They opened a series at home versus the Cardinals tonight as they continue to try to dig out of this. The Phillies are playing in Toronto right now. They won that game yesterday. The Braves have a pretty dang big lead, but Phillies have been one of the best teams in baseball over the last month, I would say. Brewers, speaking of a really hot team, 41-23, winners of 4 in a row, 5.5 up on the Cardinals, who have also won 4 in a row. Pirates and the Cubs definitely dropping back a little bit here. Hold on, I saw a comment that got me distracted. I'll check that in a minute. Pirates and Cubs not playing good baseball at the moment. Reds as well. They've lost 5 in a row. NL West, Dodgers 42-24. They are in Pittsburgh. Starting their series up today. Diamondbacks and Padres are 7.5 back respectively of them, and we know about the Rockies. So that's it for that. As for the college baseball scoreboard, yesterday we had some more super regional action. We need to reload this page. There was only a couple games. Or I guess that's over. Never mind. Sorry about that. Ignore me on that. All right, coffee cups. We'll reload that. Yeah, the game in Vegas was obviously crazy. As you can see by A's, Milwaukee in the top 4 spots. Soderstrom, Kurtz, Vaughn, Contreras. So I'm sure we'll see and hear from all of them, as well as Bowers, Terang, Langoliers, all involved. Geloff, if you want to have that. That makes like 7 in the top 13. In terms of overall performance score by WPA, Andrew Vaughn was the winner, 4 for 6 last night with a home run for the Brewers, came through late. Jonah Heim with a 1 at-bat, big swing moment as well in that same game. And then Cody Bellinger, who won the game in the 10th inning for the Yankees. As for the pitchers, Cristopher Sanchez, no surprise there. He did not go scoreless, but he did go 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, and get the win versus the Blue Jays. Logan Webb, 8 innings, 1 run in a game that the Giants eventually lose. Crazy. And then Eric Getty. There were some other good performances in here, but no like crazy dominating ones in terms of length and strikeouts. But I did want to look back at Grayson Rodriguez because I think he might have looked a little better yesterday, so I'm curious about that. As for the WPA, Chad Patrick came up clutch in extras or in that Milwaukee A's game in Vegas, getting the save. Logan Webb, Cade Smith with a big performance last night, inning and 2/3, 3 strikeouts. He's not one of the ones I want to look at though. Josh Hader, 1 inning, 3 Ks. We got to watch that. And also 1 inning, 3 Ks, I believe, for Mason Miller last night. Yeah, I would like to watch that. As for our top prospects, good news for everybody. There are no top prospects because they don't play on Mondays. So yeah, that is our coffee cups. Let me get into the chat, and then I will start chipping away at the games here. All right, here we go. Thoughts on the rumors from ESPN that a Red Sox owner, allegedly Theo, has been reaching out to orgs about getting a bat and taking on cash. How unusual is it for an owner to do that? I mean, I think that some of the owners are way more involved than people think. Certainly, in almost every conceivable case, the owner gets last say on any transactions anyway. You know, this is what we have. This is why we recommend it. This is the cost to you, blah, blah, blah. And then the owner can say yes or no. I know this for a fact. So especially if it's Theo in this case, you know, Theo's the former superstar general manager and executive of the Red Sox and then the Cubs, obviously. So if it gets to Theo level, nothing would surprise me because maybe he has to go above Breslow here. I don't know. But he's on the payroll for a reason. So is it unusual? I would say typically they'd like the executives to handle that they hire, the baseball people they hire, but owners are very involved. I mean, Jim Crane's known to be involved. Dick Monfort is very involved. You see it a lot. Peter Seidler was obviously very involved before his passing, and there's some others as well. ESPN had an interesting Pittsburgh deal for Skubal, Jones, password, and picks. Interesting, but obviously won't happen. I could see a lot of people wanting Jared Jones. But I don't know. When the bids do come out, I think somebody's going to have to be pretty irrational to win this because I think a lot of teams will throw some offers at the Tigers, at least I would guess. Simeon Woods Richardson, 4 scorers for the Jays. New splitter shape, increased velo. It's good to know. It's good to know. Which that kind of reminds me of something here. I don't know if this is working properly yet, but let's see. If you go to Advanced Scout and you go to What Changed, I created like a flagging system here. I don't know that this isn't really figured out yet. Honestly, this site is not very good yet, but I like the approach angle tool that I have on the broadcast view, and I like this What Changed. And you can go by velocity, and then you can sort by date or maximum amount changed. You can go by movement. So movement, let's say movement IVB. Right now, the most recent is May 25th. There it is. So Simeon's Wood Richardson, but that's less 4-seam movement. Let me recompute. And I try to make it have only meaningful changes. So I have to work on this a lot, but I was curious to see if maybe that popped up anything about his splitter movement. Simeon Woods Richardson, but right now I just see 4-seam movement, but it also has no new changes beyond May 25th. So that seems a little weird. I might have to tweak the code on that. But anyway, we'll see. We'll let that do its thing for a bit. Anywho, back to the chat. As a Sox fan, I like the idea of Theo scouring the league, but it's odd to do it from an ownership perspective. Prefer if he was just promoted to head of baseball ops. Yeah, I mean, what does Theo want at this point? I feel like at this point he can dictate whatever he wants to do. You got to think he's got the itch at some point to be the point man. So we'll see. Plus, there was the report recently about him being not so happy about how Breslow bakes the cake a little bit with the analytics. So I don't know. We'll see. But he's certainly a wild card if he's on the payroll. I'll say that. Sanchez's sixth inning is worth a look. I'm planning on watching him in general. Brez needs an English to English interpreter. I've seen this a few times, Jane. Jane, I wrote you back on that email the other day. Very intriguing. I'd like to see more framework, but very cool idea that you sent me. Theo should invest the $140 million they gave to Isak in a bat. Oh, that's... I don't know what you're saying. Jerry Reinsdorf is pretty involved. He made the decision to hire La Russa instead of Hinch. 100% Reinsdorf's very involved. Morning, guys. It's totally Tuesday. Have a good day. For kites in Denver, do you have any stories about things you couldn't believe as a result of weather factors? I do have one story that was crazy. I was in New Orleans in AAA. It was batting practice. They have a pool, like a swimming pool, right over this is Zephyr Field out near the airport. They have a pool right over the right field fence. And I'm not kidding you. I've never seen this before or after. I'm sure this is real, but it was crazy. I saw a little whirlpool geyser type tornado thing form over the pool, gain strength really fast, go over, pick up a pool chair and throw it into the outfield. And then the thing went across the field, kicking dust everywhere, and then kind of fizzled out and went away on a beautiful sunny day. Never seen anything like it in my life. Very weird scientific event, but it didn't have anything to do with the game at all. I also seen some crazy hail a few times, Midwest, but also Colorado, obviously, like baseball-sized hail, like scary hail. That's it. Doesn't Theo want to be commissioner or something? I mean, that's a sick job. I mean, you take a lot of shit, obviously, but you make crazy money, and I feel like you just kind of hang out. Be a pretty good gig for anyone. I don't know if Theo wants that, though. That's what Harry's saying. I think Theo might be gunning for a commissioner job when Manfred steps down. I don't have a lot of info on this. I think there's a lot of people gunning for that job. Some of the other executives. I know Chris Young was a name that I heard floated a while ago, but I don't know. Theo Epstein eluded the media by wearing a gorilla suit on Halloween in 2005 when his contract as the Red Sox general manager expired that evening. He famously snuck out of Fenway. I mean, what a dream. He was like 30 years old, breaking curses. It's honestly cooler than being a player, and there's not many things that I would say that about. Honestly, what the wind did to Nolan pitches a while back, yeah, that's a whole thing too. That's a whole thing too at the plate, obviously. So, can we take a look at Logan O'Hoppy's error on a tag up by Altuve? All right. Remind me of this in a minute, Harry. I already kind of predetermined to go look at this game in Las Vegas last night. So that's where we'll get started. So I'm so old that I played in Vegas in AAA quite a bit, but it wasn't even this field. This field's been there a while, and I played at the old field in Vegas. And I'll tell you what, the ground was a parking lot. So it was the hardest infield I've ever seen in my life. If you hit a chopper, it was guaranteed to ricochet over the infield. The fences were all close unilaterally around the field. High wall, crazy wind, hot. And this one's a little nicer, obviously. It's a newer stadium, but all the same shit applies. Dry infield, fast as crap. Ball absolutely flies, wind everywhere. And this game crushed some ERAs a little bit. Kyle Harrison had like a 1.4 coming into this game. He ends up going 2 1/3, 8 runs, 2 walks, gave up 3 pumps in this game. Aaron Ashby, the man with all the wins this year. How many has he got? 9-0. So he's 9. That's an amazing stat. He should be an all-star just for fun. Being 9-0 as a relief pitcher. 2.93 ERA in 29 games, 40 innings. He actually has a really interesting season going. Kind of a high whip, but tremendously successful. Anyway, he got his ERA blown up to 2.93. On the other side, Springs gave up 2 homers. Medina gave up a home run. Needless to say, there was a lot of home runs in this game. So I think I put Kurtz and William Contreras on the thumb, but there's a lot of guys I just kind of want to watch hit in this game. A's and Brewers from Vegas, baby, where the A's will be in the future. Get Ashby into Cy Young convo. I mean, not going to happen after today's game unless he goes scoreless for like a bazillion years and somehow wins like 17 games, and it's just like a weird, fun one, especially in that National League. But it's a quirky season. 9 wins is wild as a relief pitcher at all. Before July, forget it. Was that when the Jays had their team there? Yeah. I faced like Travis Snyder, a couple guys. It was connected to like a convention center. New Vegas is probably going to be a launching pad too. So little PCL knowledge. Everything in the PCL is insane. Just so you guys know. So instead of going through the pitchers, I'm going to go through the hitters here. So Brewers end up winning the game, so we'll go to them last. We'll watch Shea Langoliers get a bunch of hits. He's going to homer off Harrison on a first pitch fastball here. This camera angle could not be worse. There's that Las Vegas ballpark, but he hit that off of like a beam. There was also this pitch is also above the zone. I need a lot more information on this pitch. So it's the usual approach angle stuff from Harrison. Didn't have a huge amount of IVB on that one in particular, but we don't even have launch data on that. Oh yeah, we have it on the screen up there. 483 at 107.7. 107.7, 483 timeout. 483 feet is insane. There's a look at the desert that is Las Vegas, Nevada. But anyway, this ball was absolutely thumped. See if we get another camera here. This one's a little better, maybe? Or is that the exact same? Horrible angle. Do we get side shots? Well, we have weird cinematic side shots. Man, he's a really good hitter, I'll tell you what. Let's see the third base view, because you never know what you're getting. Oh, we're getting a family in the crowd. Quick zoom back. And we missed it. Let's see what the high home's looking like here. That's a pretty good shot. But dude, where did that hit? That ball hit up here somewhere. Amazing bomb by Langoliers. So that's his home run. What else did he do in this game? 2 more singles. Here's one off of Drew Rom, first pitch sinker. Little ground ball through the 4-hole. And then he comes up with another hit off of Ashby, the before mentioned Ashby. So let's watch this at bat. 98 mile-an-hour sinker, fouled back. Here comes a changeup. And then a sinker, and he's going to get a hit. And this drove in a run here in the 10th. With 2 outs. This was a crazy inning, actually. This makes me want to watch this comeback that they even survived this, that they even got through this inning. What exactly happened in this inning? So he pitched a good 9th inning. Strikeout, line out, single, strikeout. Then the 10th inning, strikeout, ground out, and then single homer. My God. All right. We'll get to that when we get to those hitters. All right. So that was Langoliers' day. Here's Kurtz. Strikeout, single. Here's the at-bat for the single off of Harrison. Force him up. This is an interesting matchup a little bit. Just the left-on-left, four-seam nature of it. A lot of people have been trying to sinker Kurtz. 3-0 count. And now he's going to get the hit right here. Man, he hit that ball hard. Really hard. 108.8 at 14. That's weird. He was so on time for that. And obviously, maybe the altitude plays a little bit of a factor here too. Harrison's ball just didn't feel like it had the same level of hop on it or angle to it in this game. from what I'm seeing so far. So there's a single. Then he's going to home run off Joey Kunal here, who they just acquired, by the way. Maybe from the A's?
Into focus.
Hit me with some likes, folks.
Everything he's saying, they're saying along.
Cutter down, and then he's going to wham homer on a sinker. Oh, to the oppo. That's a Kurtz special. Catch it deep and hit a no-doubter the other way. Only at 97.4 at 36. So, yeah, this ball flew out a little bit different than it normally would at sea level or wherever. 374 at 97.4 for the home run for the big Amish. You just see how deep he catches this ball. It's a big part of his game.
1-1 to Kurtz. Hit to left.
Here's Kunal's reaction, because that's all we're going to get. Here's Kurtz. Let's watch that one more time. He's so good at catching it deep, but like barreling it back there. So that's a Kurtz special. Oppo Taco. And then he's also going to home run off Ashby. Homer off Ashby, left on left. In a huge spot. I mean, the game's over. All right, breaking ball, strike. Really good take, breaking ball, ball. Here comes a sinker. Kunal 4 to 5 more velo in this game than season average. So is this? He had an angry game, huh? You let go of me? How dare you?
2-2.
Oh, and then this is the antithesis of the late barrel Oppo Taco. This is the go beat a 99-mile-an-hour fastball to the spot and pull it at 110 at 26. This swing is insane. You know how hard it is to do to win the battle, to get to up and in on 99, left on left? That might be the swing of the year. How did he know? It's almost like he knew that one was coming. Was there a tip going on here? Do we have a tipping situation here? I'm watching Shea now. I got nothing on the slider. I got nothing on the heater, but my God, to be on time for that makes no sense. But that's just incredible. 110 at 26? Are you kidding me with that? I mean, that's honestly insane. Hold on, I'm just ticking around. Hold up. When does Ashby throw 99? He's been throwing hard for a while. I don't know that he sits 99, though. That's a good point. How hard does Mr. Aaron Ashby throw right now? Well, he sits 97, so it's reasonable to think he's touched 99. Last year, he was 97.5, 96, and 24. So, yeah, I mean, the heater's there. Max velo of 99 makes sense. I know. I hear him, Brett. What's he doing? All right, let's watch this one more time because I can't get enough of it. I mean, how do you do that? How do you turn that pitch around? So that's Kurtz. He was insane. Also insane, Soderstrom in this game. He's going to hit 2 home runs. Here's the first one off of Harrison. A lot of left-on-left crime. And I saw that as a group, left-handed batters are doing, obviously having more success as a group this year, and a lot of speculation is because of the ABS. Can't say I disagree with that assessment. Wow, sit on a breaking ball and punish it out to center, 434 feet over the tent. 103.8 at 30, but yeah, the ball's jumping. I mean, that's not a 434-foot home run very many places. Maybe Coors Field. But this is a little breaking ball. And, you know, Harrison's suffering here a little bit from his pitches just don't look like they have as much bite on them in Vegas tonight. Whether it's the ride or whether it's the drop and the spin on the breaking ball. See if we can get Soderstrom.
Didn't go to Colorado.
Not really. We just see people excited about the home run. All right, so that's one home run. Here's the second one off of Rom. Another left-on-left dinger. Heater up ball.
Second appearance for Milwaukee with Soderstrom at the plate.
Heater again, and now sweeper. So he's going to hit 2 left-on-left breaking balls. for home runs. 2 front door breaking balls left on left. Stays in there with the front shoulder. This one, he hits it off of a table. 99-2 at 32. There we go. Soderstrom's a guy that doesn't get as much talk. I mean, I know he got the extension this year, but I feel like, you know, after we know how good Kurtz is and Langoliers, it obviously is going to overshadow a little bit. But here's Soderstrom. Wow, interesting little move on the load here. Look at that roll of the front leg. He actually gets a little bit forward with his weight there. Kind of interesting. Stayed flat, though. Whack that. And then he's also going to get a hit off Ashby for good measure. So 3 hits left on left.
Down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, this camera angle's brutal. This is just like they're not ready. All right, sinker here. And he's going to pack that one up the middle. Again, these infields are incredibly hard and fast in some of these places like Vegas. So that ball's going to fly through the infield. So that's Soderstrom. Who else had a big one in this one? Well, Geloff had 2 hits, so we'll watch those off Harrison. And then I want to check Harrison's movement numbers. I feel something tells me they're going to be a little bit pulled down, but we'll see. 0-2. That should have been strike 3. My goodness. And then here's a double. Geloff's got that crouch stance. 98 off the wall. Oppo at 27. There's Geloff, and then his next at-bat, he's going to homer. Fastball, and then here's the homer. What was that? Was that a slurve? That was a changeup. Ooh, and that one went over everything. Hey, baby.
Daddy?
What's up?
My amp was so fast.
You what?
My amp goes so fast.
Yeah, so fast. Are you breaking all your toys, though?
So super fast.
Okay.
Come on, go out there.
I know, but I'm on the middle of my show. I can't come right now. I'll come after I watch you. I'll watch you after, baby. All right, so that's it for the A's hitters. Those are the ones that had the most impact today. Let's go. I want to go look at a couple things here real quick from the breakdowns of this game while we keep going. So here's what I was talking about with Harrison. It was clear as day. I mean, he's not an unpredictable pitcher. You know, he doesn't have a huge arsenal. He's basically spamming 2 pitches this whole season with a little sprinkle of changeups, fastballs and slurves. No different tonight. Almost 90% those 2 pitches. Bye. Love you. Check out the induced vertical break in this game. He averaged 12 on the season. He's getting 15. Those 3 inches make a big difference. The slurve. This year he actually got more drop on his slurve. Is that possible? More drop on his slurve, but less horizontal. So his fastball in general just had less movement in this game. Less horizontal, less lift. And his slurve had actually more drop, but less horizontal. So it was just fundamentally a little bit different. And then the changeup had less movement too. We saw him give up a home run on that. So that's the biggest thing. I mean, he threw his strikes, but his pitches didn't have the same shapes. Now, as for Kunal, this is wild to see. Mitch just texted me about this. But look at this speed differential in this game. Gets DFA'd, traded for cash or something from these 2 teams. Makes his first appearance versus his old team and decides, I've got 5 more miles an hour in the tank. Are you kidding me, Joel? He averaged 99 on his sinker yesterday, and that's not 1 pitch. That's 8 pitches. He was averaging 94.3 on the season. He threw 100 basically on his 4-seam, 5 miles an hour up. Even his curveball's 5 miles an hour harder. So he's either angry or he's about to get hurt. I don't know which one yet, but he came out pounding the strike zone in this game, throwing absolute gas. So pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to see that. All right, now on the other side of things, there were some Brewers that had big days at the plate as well, in terms of the dingers and such. Choreo had a pretty crazy game, 3 for 5, walk, and a sac fly. So we'll watch Choreo real quick. Here's Choreo, first hit off of Springs here. Line drive the other way. Little 107 mile an hour oppo line drive. Very nice, very nice. Then he's going to get a hit off of Medina here. Let's watch this at bat. Medina had a tough day, I believe. Slider down.
A's lead 9-5.
Slider strike.
Still at work in the 7th inning. The A's up 4. Back up the middle, ground ball.
And another one of those firm grounders up the middle. And then that's it. But Contreras had some good ones. Contreras had a crazy home run where he falls, sits on the ground. All right, here's his first hit off Springs, coming on a heater. Another ground ball that they just can't get to, although that one looked pretty hard hit. 96-3 in a good spot. Here's a single off of Harris, Hogan Harris on a fastball. Ooh, gets to a fastball in. Good swing at that. As they made a nice comeback here in the ninth. There was a bunch of comebacks in this game. This game was very topsy-turvy, but check out this home run off Barlow. Let's watch this whole at-bat. This put the Brewers up by a lot, and it actually wasn't enough initially, even though they came and won it later. But this is a very interesting home run.
What would you like me to do here? For a big hit to come and an inning to
Here it comes. Sitting on the ground, and he takes it over the batter's eye, or at least the lower portion of the batter's eye. 106.7 at 27, 463 feet. Very funny swing here. You don't see that very often. He hit it, and then something made him, he recoils onto the one knee, and then he just kind of drops down and watches it. But this ball was undoubtedly very loud. Off the scoreboard, actually. Yeah, this ball hit right around here somewhere. Unbelievable. Great swing by Contreras here. Barlow, what did he try to sneak by him here? A fastball at 88.5? Can't be sneaking 88.5 by many people. So that ball's destroyed. Another ridiculously far home run there. And that was the fun thing there. I did remember that I forgot the Jonah Heim one. I'll get to that in a minute. Here was the #1 win probability added player from last night, Andrew Vaughn. So he's going to homer off Springs here. This is 101-1, and it goes 420 feet to the Oppo Taco field. This was also a little bit Vegas aided, but certainly a nice swing by Vaughn. Just get ready when they move to Vegas. I mean, it's impossible to totally predict it yet, but everything I've seen from every ballpark in Vegas has been absolute bang box. So if that's the case, they're going to play some interesting games. And then imagine if Salt Lake gets a team. So then you have Colorado, Vegas, Salt Lake. Then they definitely have to do realignment. So he only hit this ball 96.7, and it almost feels like it's going to go out. It hits high up off the wall in the gap. Crazy. And then this one off of Harris. Is this what I just watched? No, this one's 94.4. This was the biggest hit of the game, according to win probability added, essentially. Pulls the hands in on a fastball, flips it to left. And a couple runs come in. So that was Andrew Vaughn. I did forget about the Jonah Heim home run. Let's watch that. This was a big one off of Ashby. Let's watch this whole at-bat. And apparently this is just a pop-up. So this is going to be a super cheap Vegas home run. This tied it with 2 outs in the 10th, by the way. Kurtz had just homered. But you have nobody on, 1-run lead, 1 out to get. Jonah Heim off the bench in this spot. Gets himself to a 3-1 count, and he's going to get a changeup. Oh, yeah, that's a weird pop-up. In fact, Contreras celebrated. Contreras did a little glove tap clap, and that ball got out. Ashby looks at the dugout. We don't have exit velocity on that. Here it is. 94.6 at 316. Totally fake. Totally a fake home run. My goodness. Check out William Contreras' reaction. Ball goes up. He goes, yes, we got it. Game over. Sure enough, not game over. You can see it in their body language, Carl. 94.6 should never be a home run. Obviously, I'm a pitcher. I'm a little bit biased, but that should never be a home run. Didn't end up affecting them because they ended up winning anyway. But crazy. That's a crazy home run.
And a pop up into right.
He doesn't think it's a home run either. I want to watch Ashby. They're taking him out of the frame. But yeah, just a back and forth game. Obviously, it's all nutty. You thought Sacramento was a hitting park. That's a hitting park. Vegas. So get ready for that. Brewers end up winning it. And the whole thing. They're just trying to get some people to get excited about them coming to Vegas. That's the whole point of that. That's the whole point of that. All right. What do we got next? What do we have next? Let's see. Go watch some pitchers. We go watch some more hitters. Yeah, Cristopher Sanchez. I want to get to him probably next. Somebody reminded me of something earlier. There was a play at the Astros game early on. It was Harry. What did Harry say? Gotta go back in the chat if I can. Can't go that far back. There was a play error on a play. This series is going to single-handedly lower some pitchers' ARB numbers this offseason. You're not lying. You're not lying. Josh Naylor grand slam last night was 92 exit velo. Well, now we got to quickly switch to that. All right, that was versus the Orioles. So we just watched a 94.6. And now we're going to watch. This is Baltimore, so I could also see this happening. It just depends on where this was located, this home run. But let's see it. Off of Anthony Nunez.
In his career.
Sinker down strike. Four-seam fastball, 92-3. My goodness. Oh, he got jammed, and it's over the high wall. Yeah, when it heats up, the ball certainly flies there. I can't believe that got over the high wall, though, at 92-3. Must have been perfect element of backspin here, just enough. 358. I feel like he got jammed here. He kind of knew it, but I don't know how he knew it because that ball was not hit very hard. So anyway, that was good to look at for a second. Hold on, I got you. I see you in the chat. Hold on. Here it is. The Ohapi error versus the Angels. So Angels, Astros. Matthews made a great throw too. Jose Altuve tags up and scores on a pop-up to second base. All right, when did this happen is the question. Here it is. So 4-4 top 10. One out. Situation where you're trying to get the run in. This pop-up will not usually do it, but Altuve is going to test it. Madrigal throws home. One hopper. And Ohapi just straight whiffs it off of one bounce. Yeah, I mean, what's there really to break down on this? He just misses it. He gets handcuffed by it for some reason. I'm not saying to get your body in front of it, but you got to be able to judge the hop here a little better. I don't know whether it's a matter of, I mean, yeah, the bounce is a little closer than you'd like, right? But I think you just back up here a little bit. Maybe this is a little bit of an effect of worrying about giving a lane, but first you gotta secure the ball. So that's rough because that's how they're gonna lose this game, basically, huh? All right, so he gets himself in his position. He's in front of the plate here, clearly. Then he shifts back a little bit, but he needed to take a little bit further of a step back. Or in this situation, I guess you go get the ball. But just kind of an unfortunate in-between hop. Could come up and get it, too. Ohapi ripped himself for missing it post-game. Apparently, Ohapi is first percentile in blocking this year. Ohapi is kind of a disaster back there and has been. I don't know him personally. Talked to his dad once or twice, actually. Very talented player. But yeah, I mean, I've looked a little bit at the StatCast numbers before, and they're not exactly a glowing display. Seems like basically a strong guy with some tools that is lacking a little bit in the skill department at the moment. You know, I mean, he's got barrel percentage. Bat speed's about league average, but then you look at the defense, -8 blocking. So that's first percentile. That was previously brought up here. Framing, -6 on that. Pop time, that seems pretty low for the big leagues. So that's not great. It's not super great. Let me go back in time a little bit. 2025, the numbers were really poor back there as well. 24. I wonder, you know, so they have a manager, Kurtz Suzuki, who was he was known as a guy who worked really well with pitchers, framing, blocking. I don't know if those were his strong suits, but more so smarts back there. And I'm wondering if I'm wondering what his assessment of Ohapi is and what they could do with him a little bit. When he first came up, that little burst in 2022, he had a couple better metrics there. And in 23, he showed off, you know, what he has under the hood in terms of strength and stuff like that. Same with 24. But then since the injury, it's kind of all come back to earth a little bit, and the skills have deteriorated a lot. It looks like there's probably a way to pitch him that he hasn't adjusted to yet. So that's a little tough to see. But that play was weird. Ayo, have you ever appealed a sac fly at third base that the runner left early? I mean, we definitely tried it, but I've never got anybody out on an appeal play. I'm wondering why we're throwing out a hop to the catcher from second base. Wouldn't that be just as much the second baseman's fault? No, I think it was a good throw. It's not a perfect throw. I prefer you to. So one thing I always say with infielders, and you have a little bit of a far throw, like on this play. And it's first of all, Madrigal doesn't have a great arm, but second of all, I'd much rather you bounce it and give the fielder a chance. One hop is beautiful generally, than try to throw it in the air and then miss wide right or wide left or too high. Something that's a little bit harder. If you bounce it, I feel like you eliminate the ability for you just to airmail everybody. So that's why I prefer a bounce. I think that's the proper fundamental in this situation. There's also my guy Aldigari pitching from Team Italy, but unfortunately the throw created a little bit of a in-between hop that Ohapi did not handle very well. So I don't really put any blame on Madrigal there. Overall, it's pretty on-target throw. Just happened to be a hair stronger than he would like, actually. He would have liked it to bounce a little bit more. Get Jeff Mathis on the phone. Yeah. All right. You want to watch Cristopher Sanchez now? I think we should do that. We totally missed the game where he lost his streak. But I think we should run through him, and then we have some more guys to look at after that. So here was the outing last night versus the Jays. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Did give up a home run to Ernie Clement. In this one, here's the breakdown. It's going to be the same as always. Sinkers and changeups, couple sliders. There it is. 46 sinkers, 45 changeups, 16 sliders. Changeup continues to be the dominant pitch. 11 whiffs on 27 swings. Didn't control the counts as well, but had a great game nevertheless. So Phillies Jays. Does feel like the Jays are drawing a lot of tough matchups lately for whatever reason. But yeah, Cristopher Sanchez. So we'll watch him get his outs here. First out of the game is a strikeout right down the middle to George Springer, and we're underway. All right, Nathan Lucas, 1-1 slider. Slap the other way. Nice play by Bohm. Bohm's pretty good at like those lay down, cut the ball off in the hole plays. All right, here's Vlad. That's the pitch that he normally takes deep. He just misses that one. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign that he flew out on that at 99. I feel like it was a good swing, but he just missed it. Oh, and then Sanchez giving him a little love afterwards. You know, the Dominican bond is strong, but it looks like he calls him a mama huevo or something right here. I don't know, something. All right, second inning. Okamoto going to punch him out with a changeup. Let's watch this whole at bat because it's a 3-pitch strikeout. Sinker up away, swing through. Now they go sinker in. I love how they use both sides of the plate. Ooh, he gets the called strike. Kaz should have challenged that, and then the changeup's tough. You kind of have to offer at that. So outside, inside changeup. Very well done. And then another strikeout here of Ernie for the second out of the second. So he's got a couple strikeouts on changeups. You see how devastating it is. It's just unbelievable how they think that's a strike. And they chase it almost all the time. And then he's going to get a first pitch ground out here from Jimenez on a sinker in. So that's it for the second inning. Third inning, leadoff hit, Miles Straw. 2-0 count, gets a sinker. Takes him into the gap. Nice swing there. Vlad was bad last night. He chased so badly. What's up, Babinski? What's up, grounds crew? Good swing by Miles Straw. So, man on second, no outs. Here's Heineman. Where's Valenzuela? We need him. Slider down, chop. That will move the runner up. And then Pinango is going to drive in the run on a 2-0 heater down, little chopper to first. Bryce decides we're up 5-0. They're playing back anyway. They have contact play. We'll take the out. So that's how the first run scores. Miles Straw generates that with that double. Here's the second strikeout of George Springer. Oh, man, that was freaking gross. How did he set that up? Probably with a fastball in for a strike at some point. Let's watch this at bat. Sinker away, fouled off. Now they go in, so they love to go away, then in. That's the second time he's gotten a called strike on a pitch that's pretty far off. It's almost 2 inches off. Okamoto and now Springer. That sucks. Now I don't know what you do. Now change up. See, that's a good take, but this sinker right here, check out the lane. That sinker right here being called a strike is going to set up this slider.
I have too much in my head to be an umpire at the same time.
Yep. This one came out a touch higher, but it's that same lane, and then you see he's trying to swing because he doesn't know what it is, and it's too late. Absolutely undressed, so perfect tunneling, and just shows you how it doesn't always have to be back-to-back pitches. Sometimes you can lay the trap a couple pitches ahead. So, dirty there. That ends the third. Fourth inning. First up is Lucas. Going to get him with a sinker. It's just too tough to hit. Chopped right to Stott. One out there. 0-2 change up to Vlad. Puts it in place somehow. Rolls it over. And then Okamoto on a sinker. So he was cooking. He did give up the run, but he was cooking, although this ball felt like a home run off the bat to me. Only 97 at 28. It'll be 400 feet in Las Vegas, though. Sanchez thought he got clipped. He smiles a little bit, but he got it off just off the end, just a hair. And Marsh is there. That's it for the fourth. We're on to the fifth. Here's the Ernie home run. Pulls the hands in on the front door sinker. Let's see if he was like anticipating here, if he watched tape at all. Just over the wall. Brutal catch by the fan. 100 on the dot at 33. Let's watch this again. Does he go away and then in?
5-1 Phillies lead. Still on top due to the early offense and still
Not really. Just change up to sinker, and then Ernie just always swinging, and he's on time because he's so quick to the ball. Great swing. It's just, he can hit the good pitchers because he doesn't play the games that everybody else plays. He just goes up there and sees it and swings, and he's quick. I mean, that's just a pure reaction. Pure reaction right here by Ernie. I don't think there's anything going on except I see it, I like it, I swing it, I hit it on the barrel. So that's the second run. That's going to be it off Sanchez, but a great swing there. Ernie no barrels Clement. 420 in Vegas, yes. That was definitely 420 in Vegas. What was your rookie season? I got called up in 2010, but I was still technically a rookie even in 2012 because I didn't play at all in the big leagues in 2011. So 2010, kind of 2012. 3-1 little rollover. Sanchez, great recovery. And he gets the out. Wow, big time no panic drill right here for Sanchi. This one's nice.
Just keep putting good at-bats together. Straw, and this one is off the glove of Sanchez.
Chris Sanchez for Curtis Mead is going to be one of those trades we look back on and wonder. It's so true. Guess you didn't know in the moment, but he's that good. I mean, he's on the short list, best pitchers in the world right now. All right, only 23 likes. We got 85 people in there. It only takes 1 second to go down there and click that little button. Thank you in advance. Love you guys. See ball hit better. Ball is better than guessing against this guy. Seems to know what you think. Totally agree. And they're reading swings left and right. And I think if you just see the ball hit the ball and stay on fastball or stay on one pitch throughout, you're going to get it. You're going to get a sinker or a changeup, right? For the most part. So that makes a lot of sense to me, what you're saying there. Dang it, I just screwed up. That was the homer, right? Jimenez. Did we watch this? This is a changeup strikeout to Jimenez. Left on left, see you later. Now we're back to Miles Straw. Do you know my dad, Jose Sanyo? He was in the league around the time of your rookie years. I'm sorry, I don't think I do. But it's weird because I usually know every player. What team, what position, what org? Real Trey. Also, if you're in the TikTok and you want to come over and get in the chat and direct the show a little bit, come on over to the YouTube channel. Links in the bio. Oh, yeah, that was the no panic drill there. That was a good no panic drill. All right, here's Heineman. Little rollover on a changeup. Easy play there. We're on to the sixth. First couple years, it was looking like the Mead-Sanchez swap was the Rays masterclass again. But that has turned around. You just got to give so much credit to really Cristopher Sanchez, but also the guys that he's around, Caleb Cotham, JT, you know, everybody that he's around, whoever he works with back home in DR, because to become this good it's not easy. Great swing by Pinyango here. Probably the best swing of the day so far. 111.6 at 15. This is actually just an incredible swing. I want to watch both pitches. Back-to-back sinkers. Ostiano was on Pirates in 11. So there's my issue. Pirates organization, I never really faced a lot of Pirates in the minors because I was PCL, so Pirates weren't really around those years in my league. They were in the International League. And even in my AA on the Texas League, they're in Eastern League. So I never really overlapped with the Pirates too much. And then in the big leagues, I wasn't even up in 2011. So I was toiling in the minors. All right, here is Springer. So he punches Springer 3 times. Once with a sinker down the middle and twice with sliders. Let's watch this whole at bat. Let's see how he carves him up for a 3rd time. Change up, take. That's the pitch he probably wanted to swing at, but it's just not seeing it well off him, you can tell. Change up away, that's a better take. Triple change up. Quadruple change up. So they're going to go quadruple change up to slider.
Change up again.
And it's really good execution on the last 2. Oh, that's nasty. I mean, like I said, him and JT are really in lockstep. He was a reliever with the Braves in 07, with the Cubs in 08 and 09, and the Pirates in 09 and 11. Yeah, no overlap with hardly any of those teams, although I might have seen him in AAA in 09 in the PCL when he played for Iowa, I assume, at one point, because I was there. Wonder if we ever pitched in the same game. That's probably findable. It's probably findable, and we're the same age. Very cool, man. Much respect, of course. So that was Springer punching out again. Here's Lucas punching out on 3 pitches, and he's going to get through this inning unscathed.
And Lucas strikes out swinging.
Nasty there, and then, yeah, called strike 3 on Vlad. He handled Vlad really well. There's the front door sinker. Absolutely dotted. Let's watch this at bat. This is probably a masterclass. Change up. He tries to be aggressive, chases for strike 1. Now they're going to go change up again. This time he gets the take, and that's the one he would have wanted to hit. You can see the body language right there from Vlad. Triple changeup. Everything looking away. Ooh, and that's why this front door sinker is going to work. He makes him go ahead out there and kind of semi-dive to foul that pitch off. Now this next pitch is going to look in, but it's absolutely dotted on the inside corner. Wow, what a freaking pitch. And Sanchez is juiced. Great pitch there. He's so good. All right, 7th inning. Okamoto goes down on a changeup for the 2nd time. See ya. Next up, Ernie Clement. See the ball hit the ball approach. You gotta love it. Base knock. Now Jimenez is going to strike out for his 2nd time on a left-on-left changeup. Nowhere close to that. Now a walk to Straw, so he did have to dig deep a little bit as the tying run did come to the plate here in the form of Valenzuela. So let's watch this whole at bat as he needs one more out to complete 7 innings and 2 runs, which he obviously gets, but let's see how he does it. Sinker away, fouled off. Here comes the changeup. That's low. Another changeup coming here. Gets the chase. Big hack from Valenzuela there. Another changeup here. Hangs that one a little, but he's ahead of that. And then he's going to finish him with another changeup, I hope below the zone more. No, just kind of away. Here's Trey Turner showing us the power of the bounce throw that we talked about earlier with Madrigal. He's pretty deep here. No point in trying to show off the cannon and hit him in the chest on a line. Just one hop it, especially with the turf. Nice, easy, long hop. Harper can handle that. Outing over for Sanchez. His run continues. What's he looking at on the season right now from the traditionals? 8-2, 154 and 14 starts. 93 and a third, 113 strikeouts, 1.06 whip, matches his whip from last year. Yeah, he's gone to a really crazy high level at this point. And if you want to go back to when the crazy run really started, since his clunker in the Cubs, he went 6 2/3, 2 runs. Then he started on the scoreless streak: 8-0, 7-0, 9-0, 8-0, 7-0, 7-1, and now 7-2. He has, the last time he didn't complete 7 innings was way back on April 30th. So he's an absolute gift to the Phillies bullpen every time he pitches. Absolute gift. Beautiful. All right, back to the chat. I remember him with the Pirates. I joined the Cubs in 2010. Vlad Jr. only have 3 home runs is wild. Yeah, it's true. This Jays team never takes swings quite this bad. That changeup is unbelievably nasty. Agreed. It is. One of the best in the whole world. Ernie leading the league in hits and doubles while seeing a little over 3 pitches per at bat. He's just a very interesting player. You can't use the same tricks on him. The see the ball, hit the ball approach, as long as you don't have too much chase, is really the best way to hit. But not everybody can do it with the stuff that they have around the big league in the league this year. And you're not going to do it for power. But I think about even a guy like Starlin Castro. Now, granted, he had more of the leg kick, but he had no plan up there either. He was seeing it and hitting it. He was tough for me a little bit right on right because he wasn't thinking as much. So, sometimes that approach can really work. This is a true ace. I think Sanchez is going to win the Cy Young in a reverse of the Corbin Wheeler race where Ohtani will be in the Corbin Burns role. Man, you give the voters a reasonable reason to vote for Ohtani. I feel like they're probably going to vote for Ohtani, right? And then this is a good comment too. Miz could win over both of them. Either way, it's going to be a pretty dang good race all the way through. If you guys are on TikTok and you would like to come over here, please do. Come over, get in the chat, join the grounds crew, drop a like for me, all of those things. All of those things. Could throwing fewer pitches help with command? Probably. I mean, it's less to maintain. It's less to maintain, but the mind tends to wander, so sometimes it's good to have a project on that. Speaking of Miz, any update? I mean, it's going to happen. It's just they're waiting till he gets home. I didn't realize they were in Vegas. I thought they were home already, and that's why we thought Tuesday was the day. But it'll definitely happen next week. So stay tuned for that. We'll get the Miz on here, and that will be fun. Just would like to feel like hope that voters are valuing innings again. I mean, shit, I am. Sanchez goes to 220. That would be crazy. All right, a couple quick relievers to lock in on here for a second. Guys that maybe we haven't seen in a while. Josh Hader, former closer of the Padres, made his first 3 appearances of the season this week, and they've gone quite well. So far, Josh Hader has thrown 3 innings with 1 walk and 7 strikeouts, and that's it. So I propose we watch all 3 of these outings because it will be pretty quick. Would it be on after dark? They are back home Thursday and have games all weekend. Well, it could be Friday morning, although he might pitch. Thursday's an off day. That could potentially be I think Thursday they're off, so maybe on the off day. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out and I'll report back. But anyway, this is Josh Hader. So let's watch all 3 outings from Hader so far, get the lay of the land. So far, metrically, he's averaging 95.5 on his sinker, which is really, as you can see, not really a sinker. And then slider. What was he at last season? The exact same speed. So, okay. All right, first one's versus the Pirates on the 3rd. I was a little worried about him. He's had some shoulder stuff, so I don't love that. But here's the first 17 pitches of Josh Hader's season, and they came a couple days ago against the Pirates. 95.2 mile-an-hour sinker with 18 inches of vert. It's going with the short hair version of Mr. Hader this year. 96 away strike. Here comes a slider at 86.3. I miss watching this guy pitch. He's filthy. And in play out on a slider as well. Gets the roll over. He's going to have to go cover, of course, on your first play. Makes that play very nice. 1 out there. Here comes the password. Fastball ball. That's a super small sample. Yeah, that's why I didn't just look at the stats. Like I'd rather watch and just see what we think. Does he look the same? I think he looks the same so far from what I'm watching here. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever be 98, 99 like he was at times with the Brewers, but pretty dominating strikeout pitcher. One of the best of all time, honestly. Slider down, see you later. And then a nice long matchup here where I think he might have the 1 walk to Triola.
34 saves his first year with the Astros in 20.
Nice pitch there.
Season and number 228 in his career.
I feel like just the twisty nature of the delivery. A lot of people make some tough swing decisions against Josh, particularly on fastballs. And they always seem to be late.
Contest with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Off the play earlier today is on deck.
So there's a ball. There's the walk, and then he's going to get a 1 pitch out here, and that's it for this outing. Fastball still looks the same to me. Still playing extremely uphill. That's 19 inches of vert. There's the Hader little clap to yourself move that he does. Second game versus the A's on the 5th. Strikes out the side.
The Astros an inning, had a walk, a strikeout in that time. It's also going to be facing the
93-8 strike.
5 hits for the A's today. You can see he is a perfect single.
Out in front of that, fouled off.
In the 8th.
Another sinker coming here. Hader might get them a haul at the deadline. So I just read something where they're not anywhere near thinking about trading any of their big dogs. But if they did, you are right. Hader, especially with the way he's looking right now, looking like himself, I think you could convince a team, Yankees, somebody, to kind of go big for a guy like that. You know, he might be a big game changer down the stretch. So there's a strikeout, just kind of challenge Heater down the middle, strikeout versus Bolte.
By much, maybe a little.
And now he's got Geloff here. Josh Hader, you are a Toronto Blue Jay. That's another team. Could be. He is making a lot of money relative to other relief pitchers. So you got to believe in it. I think there's, how many more years are on his deal? 2 more years, maybe?
Not a fastball. Going after the zone and forcing the swing.
This is a good comment, too, by Michael.
9
It's going to be hard to convince the world that they're out of it because that division's pretty weak. There's that Heater up. See you later. That's strikeout 2, and here comes strikeout 3. So it gets kind of the bottom of the order of the A's here in this outing, but getting a lot of whiff on the sinker pitch, even though it's not a sinker in a way. Chappie would get the best haul, in my opinion. Yeah, I think he could get something too. I mean, he's been pretty dang good as well, so. Houston could retool quickly trading Hader. I don't know that they want to go full rebuild by trading Jordan. I think if you're going to do it, but I don't know. See, to me, those two players in particular, Hader and Jordan, have such an outsized ability to possibly, you know, change the entire, you know, narrative of this season. All right, and then last night versus the Angels, another 3 Ks. Logan O'Hoppe, if before mentioned, Logan O'Hoppe gets some Hader action here.
Being a walk-off in the past, Neto's also homered against him.
Down that third baseline. Paredes right down the line.
95 up, fouled off. 96 sinker. Up above the zone, see you later. You see a lot of that. If he gets to that up and away versus the righty spot with 2 strikes, it seems like a swing through all the time. 3-pitch strikeout here of Neto. Get me over, breaking ball. Sinker down, fouled off. Probably sinker up, see you later. Yep, goodbye. Next, Trouty. This is a super dominant inning versus some good hitters here. Especially these last 2. Swing and miss. Check swing. Ugh, might have went, didn't quite go. He's a tough matchup for Trout because of the way that ball plays at the top. Nowhere near that, and then he's going to get him again. Probably up and away, I would guess. Let's see. Yep, up and away. See you later. So he looks really, really good so far. Let's check him out from the side. Here is Josh Hader. He's got a little bit of that sidewinder coil as he does his drift. So he's pretty coiled. And then this is a pretty powerful move where he's sweeping the leg and the glove at one time with a very long stride to create that whip action that he has. His mobility is his asset. His ability to get really stretched out here and rotate. And he uses that glove arm to kind of help aid that. I like his delivery a lot. I don't think I could throw strikes with it. It's a little too rotational for me. A big key for him is to get down the dang rubber. You know, get down the mound in a straight way to redirect that energy. But he's been doing it for a long time. And it's amazing to me with this type of east-west in his delivery that he's able to backspin the ball, especially a 2-seam grip the way he does. So he looks great. He's back. He looks awesome. So that's Josh Hader. It won't happen, but Jordan at Fenway would be kind of ridiculous. He would be kind of ridiculous. If anybody is in the TikTok chat, TikTok side of things, and they want to come on over to YouTube, more than would love to have you. Come subscribe, drop me a like, come get in the chat. That would be great. That would be really great. All right, back to the solo. Hader has the most unique fastball in the league, a unicorn, AO. Which other pitches can we say that about? The airbender, the reverso? Yeah, probably. Airbender, Devin Williams, reverso, slider, Imai. That's a weird pitch. Nobody else really has that. I would argue Mizorowski's fastball is sort of a unicorn. Peyton Tolley in a way. Everything everything Rogers throws, Tyler Rogers. I don't know. What other unicorn pitches are there? The Kenley Jansen cutter. There's a few more. Oh, that's fine. I mean, I'm just trying to get more people over to the YouTube page. That's the main thing. Yeah, Trey has the reverse slider, although him and Imai's are just way different. Trey's makes more sense to me because of his pronation tendencies. To me, it's really weird, Imai's. But, yeah, could be. All right, one more pitcher who had another really good night last night was this guy. We haven't watched him in a while. You know him. He's probably the nastiest pitcher in the league on a pitch-for-pitch basis right now. The hundreds in this chart really dictate that, and it is Mr. Mason Miller. 27 games on the season now. He's got 27 2/3, 18 saves already, 54 strikeouts, .87 whip, .98 ERA. He pitched last night versus whom? Versus the Reds, punched out the side, so we'll definitely check in on him. Cincinnati Reds, San Diego Padres. Mason Miller needs a check-in. 19 pitches, 3 strikeouts. First one up is Arroyo. 101, 1 on the fastball, and then here comes a parade of sliders. See, to me, his ability to command his slider is probably the biggest thing separating him and like Grant Taylor right now. Obviously, he's got a little more velo as well, but he's got such good command of this breaking ball, and then it just makes the fastball obscene. As he's just ripping 101s and 102s to the top. Yeah, I was thinking of doing a little Will Warren talk after this, Greg, so stay tuned. Look at this wipeout back footer. I mean, this pitch is just ridiculously nasty. And it broke 15 inches to the left at 88. So there's strikeout number 1. Here's going to be strikeout number 2 versus Dunn. Starts him with 101-7 to the up and away corner. Now is going to come 101-6. Just misses above the zone there. Slider off that lane should be a take all day long. Yep, beautiful. 1-2 count. See how he tries to get him. I think I'm going to try. I mean, I could probably get to him in some way, somehow. We're really trying to work hard to get some more fun guests, people that I don't know. So we're working on all that. Miz is the next one in the crosshairs. We're gonna get him. Slider fouled off. 2-2 here, and then 3-2 called. Strike 3 on a fastball. Dotted away. Terrible challenge. That's way in the zone. So that's strikeout number 2, and then here comes strikeout number 3, J.J. Bleday. First pitch slider, top of the zone. Once he lands that, the at-bat's over. Ooh, a changeup for fun. 97-mile-an-hour changeup with good action. Ooh, another one. This is what I used to do too, like 2 outs, nobody on, 4-run lead. Here, let's throw some pitch just for fun. 1-2, and now 1-0-3-2 to end the game. Absolute gas. That needs to be watched from the side. Mason Miller, 1-0-3-2. Straight gas. We've watched his delivery a lot, so I'm not going to say much about it. He's definitely more of a stiff guy, just really strong. Pretty good timing in that delivery, to say the least. But just a really big, strong guy. And pretty nasty to watch. Jason Adam also had a 3-strikeout game in that. So the last 2 pitchers absolutely dominated that. Is there a way to measure the break over distance? 15-inch break that starts breaking as it released for starts breaking 20 feet from the plate. You're going to see these metrics come. You're going to see these come more in terms of late break and different metrics like that. You're going to see that. That's the next layer. I bet by next year or the year after, we'll be getting more data on that. Question, would you ever want to make Miller a starter? So for me, personally, if I was managing the team, running the show, and I could manipulate his career, my answer would be no. I would like to keep him as my relief pitcher because I think he will affect more games for me. And I think that what he does is so special that I want to keep that. But if I were Mason, I would want to be starting because ultimately that's where the big checks are. And I think that I believe it or not, and even John Smoltz told me this, I think that there's a roadmap to staying healthier longer as a starter in some cases, at least in the money-making portion of your career, pre-35, than out of the bullpen. I know that's a little bit of a bold take, but I kind of feel it a little bit too. And especially with a guy this good, there's a lot of temptation to pitch him more than he should, You see what's going on with Varland and some others. There's a lot of temptation, and even me as a manager, I think I would have a really hard time if I'm in a pennant race last 2 months of the season, not pushing that Mason Miller button early and often, multi-inning. So yes, for winning ball games, he's a separator. I want him to be deployed at my discretion, but for him, I would want to be a starter if I were him personally. That's my opinion. Love his balance and then explode into release. Yeah. Agree, Mason as closer can give you impact that's hard to measure. I agree with the take of healthier as starting pitching. Thanks for being in agreement with me, fellas. Dude, that stadium in the A's Brewers series is so bad. It's so bad. So bad. Obviously, they're building a new one, so we'll see how it's going to play and how nice that is, but, crazy. Dodgers would sign Miller, telling him to become a starter. I mean, there's a chance he could be pretty damn good as a starter, to be honest with you. Joel Hepler, do you think the Skeens can get himself back tonight versus the Dodgers? My instinct on that is yes. He hasn't gone very long stretches of clunkers. If you look at Paul, hold on. I always do this with my keyboard. It's so annoying. There just hasn't been much evidence of a long stretch of slump. Now, of course, I'll probably go through it at some point. But this is what we're looking at for Skeens. He had the clunker at the beginning of the season, and then he went dominant after that. 1 1 1 0 0. Then a 3-piece, and then 0 0. Then the first time in his career he had back-to-backs are on the 17th and the 23rd versus the Phillies and the Blue Jays, respectively, 5 and 4. And I believe we watched one of those games, and it was more bad luck than anything. Then he responds with 5 1/3 1. And then this past game, Houston did a good job driving up the pitch count, but he only gave up 1 earned run. Yes, it was 3 runs, and that's the same in the game before. So you're right. He's in a little bit of a mini slump, but everything that I know about Paul Skeens tells me he's probably going to pitch pretty well tonight. Granted, the Dodgers might beat him because that's baseball, but I do think that you'll see a good showing from him, at least on the side of the things he can control. I think he'll go out there and throw the ball well. I mean, he's trending pretty well this year with a lower whip than his previous 2 seasons. I know the runs that he's allowed is a little bit higher, but he's still definitely elite, and I expect him to pitch well tonight. If you were advising Mason, would you consider a Hader-style restriction on his usage until he gets his big contract? Well, the first thing I would do is if I were advising him, I would advise him the way that I stayed healthy the last 8 years of my career with no IL stints. I would teach him my system for workload management, and I think that would help a lot if he could buy into that. I know it would help a lot. Second thing, though, is I wouldn't necessarily put a hard cap on what I'm not willing to do, but I would absolutely refuse to go into pitch in a game that I'm not physically ready for. So I'm not saying it would be a hard cap, and depending on how he's feeling and how he's checking out in every test, and definitely scientifically monitoring myself, but also having the feel for it as well. If I'm good to go, I'm good to go. But if I'm not, I'm going to tell you I'm not good to go. So that would be kind of the way I would look at it. And also with Mason, like, depending on what I'm dealing with, would also kind of inform my decisions on how risky I'm willing to be. If it's a shoulder, I'm not willing to be risky at all. If it's an elbow, maybe half, even though I don't want that to happen either, but I could be a little risky there knowing that you'll be fine. That won't hurt my earning potential. If it's any other body part, like if it's a back, you got to be careful. If it's like a knee tendonitis thing, I probably push through it. So it just depends. But at the end of the day, you got to self-monitor a little bit, but I wouldn't put a hard rule on it either. Skeens is facing Lauer. Should be easy work for the Pirates, to be honest. I love your name, Ken Burns Breakfast. That's great. We'll see if the Pirates can hit Lauer. We'll see. A sub-2 ERA is realistically not sustainable for anyone. I agree. I'm not worried about a 2.8 either. Crochet did something similar. Relief pitcher must get protected the most. Most to lose. I agree. It's just like, you just got to protect yourself a little bit because these managers can't help themselves. And a lot of them don't understand well, one good thing that Mason has going for him is he's a closer. He doesn't get dry humped a lot, which means warm up and not come in. It's a lot more dangerous for a setup man, fireman, because a lot of times you get warmed up early and then the situation doesn't happen to sit you down. They warm you up again and it's just too much throwing. So, you got to be smart about it is kind of where I landed with that. So we only have a little bit more time left. I had a request on my YouTube page in a comment to watch this man, Jung Hoo Lee, who is on a burner right now in the midst of a breakout season, mostly on the strength of this last 14, 15-day stretch. You look at the game logs right now. He's riding a hit streak. Pretty nice hit streak for Jung Hoo Lee. Started way back on May 8th. He's gotten a hit in every single game he's played since then. Every hit in the Pirates series, every game in the Dodgers series, every game against the A's, even one against the Diamondbacks, all 3 versus the Rockies, all 4 versus the Brewers, all 3 versus the Cubs, and now even the first game of the National Series where he went 4 for 5 yesterday, and he's hitting a cool 516 so far this month with 1,000 OPS. He hit 313 in May, 312 in April. So what can I say? Jung Hoo Lee hitting 333 now on the strength of this hitting streak. 367 on base, 453 slug. This is what they hoped for, and yet they still can't win any damn games. So, and I agree, it is very BABIP dependent. But it's definitely pretty impressive. Definitely pretty impressive so far. So let's watch this game last night versus the Nats. Giants Nats, Jung Hoo Lee having an absolute burner of a moment right now. We'll watch all the at-bats, even the ones he gets out on, which I think he gets out versus Dick Lovelady, the opener, first at-bat of the day. Wow, good news for Giants. So rare this season. Yeah, for sure.
There's a strike on the inside corner. James Wood. It's a big one. Out of play and
all right, here we go. Line drive to left. So that's the one out. And that was a pretty good 2-strike, annoying slap swing. All right, here's going to be the hit parade starts. Oh, it's Michaelis. Of course it is. Slider down the middle, rolls it over into right field, base hit. That's just a standard rollover into the open space. Obviously, his game is pretty BABIP depending, so we'll see. All right, next hit is going to come off Mitchell Parker. Slider strike and 4-seam fastball here. Wow, that was a pretty good swing. He contorted his bat like... Check out the bat path on this swing. You almost never see that. That's amazing.
And another hit.
That's an amazing swing. That's a very unique stroke right there. I mean, he just like, I don't even know how to describe this. He keeps his hands super tight and then just kind of pins them to his body and brings it through for the barrel. It's kind of an amazing swing. Batting .333 and still OPing on base percentage less than 395 is kind of a red flag these days. Yeah, it is. It is. He needs to obviously take more. All right, so that was a great single, though. That was an impressive swing. Here's Beater. Four seam up.
For the Giants.
Slider coming now. Fouled off.
0-2.
Oh, and it's going to be an infield hit.
Spins,
Beats that. The grandson of the wind, who's not as fast as you would think, but he does beat that. And then here's his last hit off of Gus Varland. So it's all singles. It's all just being a pest. But that's what he is. That's what he is. And that's pretty impressive, though, his bat path on those pitches in that he's pulling or hitting up the middle, that he's kind of like arm barring and getting them under. I just find this a very unique swing. I don't know what to make of that. Very unique swing from Jung Hoo Lee. So that's his game yesterday. Let's go look at his bat tracking metrics because I've never really looked. All right, so it's below average bat speed. That's to be expected. It's actually not as low as I thought. The swing length is a lot longer than I would have thought, too. 7.7. That's fairly long. Definitely above average. That's weird. Okay, here's the tilt. Huge tilt, which we've seen in the shoulders, but the attack angle's low, so that's mostly ground balls and line drives. This surprised me a little bit, is that his attack direction's been consistently pulled throughout his career. Probably okay with the lack of total overshift now, but interesting. And now here's the timing thing. This is all new, by the way. This all got dropped today with miss distance. When Jung Hoo Lee swings, where does his bat go relative to the ball? Very confusing chart to look at, but it looks like overall pretty centered. On off speed, he seems to be very on time. And breaking pitches for sure. A little late on fastballs. This all makes sense. Over the ball or under the ball. So if anything, he's usually under the ball. Okay. So weird. So weird to look at this. Average miss distance. Much bigger on breaking balls than anything else. This is really cool data. This is really cool what they've added. But I thought that was cool to take a glance at that. Now I want to go look at the leaderboard for all this stuff. But I still want to get a little Will Warren time in. So maybe I'll look at the leaderboard next. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. What is the site to look at these apps? It's called the Dugout app. It's still private. MLB owns it. It's pretty damn cool, though. A bunch of nerds in these comments can't even enjoy a good old-fashioned dirtbag hit streak. What do you got, Joel? I believe that Lee could be a great player, great discipline for a slap hitter and the physical tools to be a good fielder, base runner, but I don't know if the Giants are maximizing him. Unfortunately, he's like a little bit not as good, I think, defensively as we hoped. -1 outs above average right now. Base running run values in the negatives. So for me, I'll just put this back up so you can see. So for me, yeah, it's a lot of it is tied up in his BABIP, just how many hits he's getting. But, you know, I play with a DJ LeMahieu, and these guys are good cogs to have in your lineup. I'd much rather, if you're going to have 367 on base, which is good but not unbelievable, I actually would rather it be very high batting average, because at least you're moving a lot of runners up with your hits and stuff like that. Hey, kid.
Bradley wants you to make her chocolate chip pancakes.
Okay, well, I will when I'm done.
What time are you done?
Another 15.
Office is a blizzard.
Yeah, it's freezing in here. They kind of moved him off center when they brought in Bader as well. That's true. All right, we're going to do two more things. We're going to do Will Warren in a minute. I want to talk about him, but I want to look at the new leaderboard here. If you guys haven't seen this. All right, so from a batting perspective, here are our swing timing and miss distance leaderboards. So first we're going to look at average miss distance overall for hitters. And the worst or the greatest miss distance in baseball right now, Spencer Horwitz of the Pirates on off-speed pitches, so changeups. And then the rest look like it's crazy. Nobody's missing fastballs by this much. It's all breaking balls and off-speed. So rounding out the top 5 just to show it. Contreras, Berger, Tristan Gray, and Logan O'Hoppe on breaking balls. Crazy. Now on the flip side of that, average missed distance 0.2. Alejandro Ozuna. These are all fastballs, by the way. Rivero, McKinstry, Thompson, Lockridge. Not necessarily a metric that you want either, it looks like. You don't want to be in the top, tippy top of that. That's interesting. Flawed swing percentage. What the hell is this? The highest rate in the league on that is Luke Raley on off speed. Terren, Stowers, Bush, and Murakami all on off speed. Keibert Ruiz has a 0% flawed swing percentage, which tells you that this metric probably doesn't matter that much. It's kind of weird. Perfect contact percentage. Chandler Simpson's the highest. Ke'Bryan Hayes, Keibert, Masataka Yoshida, Mookie Betts on all fastballs. The worst would be Cam Smith, Luke Raley, Soderstrom, Rosario, and Lowe, mostly on off-speed pitches. It's just a very strange table to look at. All right, let's look at early-late leaderboard. Highest percentage of being early in the league. Cam Smith, Larnach on 2 different types of pitches. That tells you he's on fastballs. This would be an interesting chart to look at individually. Like you see, like Larnach is 70% of the time early on breaking or off speed. What does that tell you? He's looking for fastballs. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can do pitch group all by fastballs if you guys wanted to do that. Who's missing? Hold on. All right, so just on fastballs, who is got the biggest average missed distance on fastballs? Dane Myers, Ben Williamson, Aaron Judge, Larnach, and Rushman. So Larnach in general, the least. Ozuna, Wong, Lockridge, Escara, Rivero. Flawed swing percentage. I don't know. A lot of weird stuff there. You guys can mess around with this on your own, obviously, as well. Let's just go ahead and glance over at the pitchers now. Missed distance from the pitchers. Here are the top 5 average missed distances by pitch type. Mason Miller, slider number 1, almost 11 inches. AJ Bluebaugh, splitter or something, right? Slider, splitter, sweeper. That's a sweeper. Andrew Abbott, curveball. Blake Trinan, sweeper. Justin Sterner, sweeper. Wow, sweeper's got a huge, but I feel like you either hit it or you miss it by a lot because it's got a lot of total movement. Fernando Cruz is on this list with his splitter. Mizorowski, curveball. That's pretty crazy. What about timing? Late percentage. This is the pitches that people are the most late on in the big leagues right now. Tyler Rogers, sinker. Duran's fastball. Michael King's fastball. Matt Gage's fastball. Brad Lord's sinker. Early percentage. Phil Maton's curveball. Trevor Rogers, sweeper. Matthew Boyd, changeup. Emerson Hancock, sweeper. Patrick Corbin, changeup. So anyway, this is a fun little thing. A lot to look at here. And we'll get into that over time, but that's really fun to look at. All right, last guy for today, Will Warren. He pitched yesterday for the Pinstripes. A couple things to point out about Will Warren. Number one, he's been tremendous this year. Avoiding crooked numbers. I know he only went 4 1/3 yesterday. 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. But overall, you look at his game logs, pretty damn competitive each time out. Now, he's not a true ace, can't go deep yet all the time, but 1 run, 2 runs. No, 1 run, 2 runs, 2 runs, 0, 2, 2, 1, 6. There's the first clunker. 2, 3, 2, 0, 2. So 1 real clunker and some mid games, but overall pretty damn good. Now, the thing that I want to point out about him when I load up my advanced scout real quick so you can see the approach angle stuff, he's going to really impress you with his approach angle. Not Austin Warren. Will Warren, but the approach angle that he has is a very fascinating one. So I just wanted to break this down real quick. So here it is. 4-seam fastball. Look at his HAA. 99th percentile. That was when he moved all the way over to the third base side. So a lot of times you're watching him and you're saying, why do his pitches play? Why is he getting so much weird take? Because he leads the big leagues in freezes over the last 2 years, called strike threes. Well, a lot of it is this horizontal approach angle game. He's so far on the third base side that everything's trending from right to left into the zone. Literally 99th percentile, fourth furthest over on his 4-seam. On the sinker, 97th percentile. On the sweeper, 99th percentile. Third most right to left as it's entering the zone. Changeup, 93rd percentile. And curveball, 98th percentile. So that's kind of a part of his game that people aren't really talking about as much. They did talk about it moving over, but exactly what that angle looks like coming in does make him a complete and total outlier. So he's just been really good. He's been really quality. Obviously the numbers aren't jumping off the page, but this is like a best case scenario for a number 4 or number 5 on your team, in my opinion. So let's see what happened yesterday in the game versus Cleveland, and then we'll do probables and we'll wrap it up for today. Cleveland and the Yankees. He gave up some runs. Bednar had to dig deep in this game late. Yankees had a pretty good approach, I thought, off of Gavin Williams. All right. So he starts the game off great with a whole bunch of freezes. First, it's Bazana down and away. Then here's a chase on a curveball to Hosey. He's got a really good curveball, and the curveball's got good results, whereas the sweeper has not. So I think he's going to lean more on curveballs at times recently. And then another freeze. He's really good at that down and away freeze. So he does 2 different freezes if you watch him a lot. He does 4-seam down and away freezes to righties or lefties, and when he goes sinker freezes, they're almost always right on this edge. So he's really good at this, and this is why he's number 1 in the league. He's really good at dotting that. All right, so that was a great first inning, and then it kind of gets away from him a little bit as the game goes on. Sweeper up, walk, great at-bat there by Manzardo. Now here's Schneemann. He's going to hit into a double play. Yep. And then he gets Martinez, so a very good second inning. Bazana watching soon. Yeah, I'd like to. I just need to carve out some time. All right, third inning. Leadoff walk to Kwan. Sweeper hit here by Bailey. Takes him off the wall. Oppo. There was a couple shots opposite field, like McMahon's in this game, on breaking balls that you just don't see a lot. And then he tried to minimize the damage as much as he could in this inning. They scored on a wild pitch or something, and then there's like a little chopper, so 2 runs come in. Back to the top. Here is Bazana. Gets him out on a ground out. There was also the third run that scores in here. There's a pretty bad Caballero error. Jose grounds one through the hole on him this time. But it's kind of hard to tell on TV, but that angle is really the steepest in the league, going from right to left on your screen. Oh, it happened here. DeLauder gets him on a changeup up the middle, and then he was almost out of this inning, but Caballero gets, I think, scared of the base here. And I don't know, something happens, and he misses that play, even though that was hit quite hard, 100 miles an hour. That was the third run. He's able to minimize the damage a little bit with Schneemann here. A lot of late movement on all his pitches. I think he's really good. I think he's really nasty. I think his stuff is underrated. But I've been excited to watch him throw this whole year. The freezing is really good. Really, he's got unbelievable amount of break on both of his breaking pitches, and then he's got the 2 different fastballs. And I think the poise that he's shown this year is all a result of what the opportunity was last year. That's so rare, getting the 30 starts as a rookie. So he learned a lot of lessons last year, and they're paying off this year. Because this could have been a game where he could have given up even more runs, but ultimately he gave him a chance to win, and they did win. This really hurt. Tried to go front door sinker there and missed with that. Here's a called strike 3 to Bazana, so he gets him looking twice. I counted 4 looking strikeouts in this game already. Sort of the magic behind Will Warren is the called strikeouts, and they don't give him a chance to get the win here. I don't know what happened here, but something happened there. So anyway, just wanted to lock in there for 2 seconds on Will Warren. And it seems like my kids are yelling in the background, so it's time to go. All right, solid little stream today. Appreciate everybody. Please drop me a like and a subscribe if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't done so yet. If you're in YouTube, if you're on TikTok, thanks for watching me. And I'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, before I head off to Baltimore tomorrow night. Please get some likes up for me. I really appreciate you guys. And we're going to hit the probables for today's game. Seattle and Baltimore, Logan Gilbert, Trevor Rogers. Dodgers, Pirates, Lauer Skeens. That's the game we talked about a little bit earlier. Sox, Rays, Tolley in the Trop. His fastball might be insane tonight in the Trop. Nick Martinez, really good combio piece. Twins, Tigers, Taj Bradley, Troy Melton, who had that interesting start we watched last time. Curious to watch how he does. Diamondbacks, Marlins, Gallen, and Filth Factory, Max Meyer. Yankees, Guardians, Garrett Cole, Slade Ciccone. Phillies, Jays, Zach Wheeler, Dylan Cease. That's a nice matchup. Put a star on that matchup. Wheeler Cease tonight from Toronto. That'd be a fun game to go to. Cardinals, Mets, Dustin May, Freddie Peralta. Cardinals are red hot. Mets looking to get hot. Rangers, Royals, Evaldi, Kolek. Braves, White Sox, Holmes, Feddy. Cubs, Rockies, Colin Ray, Tomoyuki Sugano. Cubs looking to get fat in Denver. We'll see. Astros, Angels, Kaiwei Tang, and Walbert Urano. Two guys that have been asked about that I am due to watch at some point. Reds, Padres, Burns, and Gio. Nationals, Giants, Alvarez, Hauser. Brewers, A's in Vegas again. Watch out for your ERAs, Gasser and JT Ginn. So appreciate you guys. Probably watch Cease. I know he's fresh off the IL, so very excited to watch him. And we'll see. But thanks for hanging with me today on the stream. I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. And that's it. Thanks for the love today. See you guys mañana. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.